Welcome back. We're here with our Griffons. We've got Jamie here, Ned and wee Ruby.
Now, Griffons are classed as a toy dog, obviously because of their size, and some of their other features are very wide-set eyes. They've got quite a flat face, very prominent chin and a short nose.
Now the short nose is very normal for a Griffon, but unfortunately Angus in our next story has a bit of a nose problem. Our vet Jeff goes to pay him a visit. Good job.
Now you must be Lynn.
Yes, I am.
Pleased to meet you.
Hi, dear.
And who are these guys?
This is Mum, Badger here, and her two boys, Satchmo and Angus over there.
So which guy are we here to see today?
This young boy, Angus.
Angus. Angus.
This one just here.
Hey.
Here he is.
I used to have a black Labrador, his name was Austin. He reminds me of him. So what's the problem with Angus?
He's just a bit of a dry boy, he always has been. He's got dry nose, dry paws, dry skin.
So he's got a few issues with his skin, especially showing around on his nose. Okay, so that's not uncommon with Labradors. There are a lot of Labradors in New Zealand and they get all sorts of skin conditions. They can develop a condition known as hereditary nasal parakeratosis, which leads to the accumulation of dry and rough keratin on the nose and foot pads. In some cases, cracks or fissures can develop and they become painful. Let's go inside to check him out more thoroughly. Come on, Angus. Come on. Good boy. I'll have a little look over him and just see if we can find anything else that might be a problem. He's been basically a pretty healthy dog, I guess, Lynn.
Yes, he is.
His ears look pretty good. Just having a wee check of his lymph nodes. That's all good. Feel of his tummy. Hey, oh, such a good boy. Feels pretty good. He's as solid as anything. He's a big boy, aren't you? Have a look at his feet. Okay, so he's got these little fissures and splits, especially up in this stopper pad here, which doesn't get as much wear. The skin cells are holding on and staying on the surface of the pad. What's happening, I think, is these skin cells are not sloughing off quite the way they should. They're staying attached. A little bit like the heel of a human, when the skin becomes dry and thickened, you can develop these little fissures or splits, and they're pretty uncomfortable. I think his pads are not too bad, like he's managing them reasonably well, and that they're not too bad. So now just looking at his nose, he's been very good in letting me look. So I can see that he's got a little bit of hair loss. His nose is just a little bit bare across the top, and the edges of his nose are quite dry and scaly. I can feel the epithelium. It's quite rough, almost like sandpaper, and I'm sure if we compare that to his mum, we'll notice quite a difference.
Veggie, come here. Badger, good girl.
Badger.
Come here and show Jeff your nose, look.
So I can immediately see that it's just so much softer and more supple than Angus. There's no dry, cracked edges. It looks a lot better and it feels so different. It's just moist, and she's a lot older than him, so you'd expect that her skin wouldn't be as healthy, but you know, it's just beautiful. A dog's nose becomes wet due to moisture produced in the lateral nasal glands, but the moistness you see will vary with the weather conditions on the day. Have you noticed, is it any worse in the summertime?
I think maybe the humidity might make a difference rather than the sunshine. I'm not sure. This time of year it's quite good.
Over time, Lynn has been trying out various treatments on Angus.
He's had zinc cream on his nose, which is an interesting look, vitamin E oil, aloe vera, sunblock. At one stage, all the way up his muzzle was just big scabs, and we actually picked them off, which seemed to make a difference.
I think Lynn's doing an amazing job sorting out this guy's nose. If your dog develops a dry, cracked nose or paws, you should definitely see your vet. There are a variety of causes, and some can be serious. In Angus's case, Lynn is managing his condition really well.
I'm relieved it's not a symptom of something more sinister. It's just Angie's little nose. So we'll look after him, and thanks very much for coming.
Thank you, Lynn, and thank you, Angus, for being such a good boy.
Something else Jeff mentioned, that sensitivity to plastic bowls may cause dryness, so stainless steel or ceramic bowls may help.
And another thing to think about is whether your dog's going to need a big area to run around in. These little Griffons don't really need a backyard. They're quite happy as an inside dog, so they're perfect for an apartment.
Now, quite a few happy dogs here, but unfortunately not all animals are as lucky. That's where the SPCA comes in, and where we can all pitch in to help.
Sometimes, when animals end up at the SPCA, the story just isn't that nice. Like Sheba, who was abandoned on the side of a country road in the snow. It took 2 months to bring Sheba back up to a healthy weight, and very soon after, she found a new home. The SPCA is almost entirely funded by donations of cash and supplies. They receive donated food from their major sponsor, but additional food and other items like blankets and toys are very welcome. One way to make a cash donation is to consider leaving money to the SPCA in your will. You can find out where donations go by talking to your local branch. For donation information, go to the website.
After the break, Jeremy harnesses up these Clydesdales for a high country adventure.